Today's episode of Going In Raw is sponsored by Indochino. Indochino was started on the belief that custom clothing shouldn't cost you a mint. So with Indochino, you can get made-to-measure clothing at fair prices. We're talking suits, blazers, shirts, pants, and coats, and you get to customize everything.
Yeah, after booking a virtual style consultation at Indochino.com and sending in my measurements, I got a great pair of pants that fit perfectly and at a great price. Indochino's suits start at just $299, and that includes all customizations.
Indochino has showrooms across North America, or you can book a virtual appointment and shop online at Indochino.com. And right now, you can get an extra $30 off any purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com when entering RAW at checkout. That's Indochino.com, promo code RAW.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson, where negotiations are ongoing for the date of our 24-hour stream. We will be talking through the night to figure out when we're going to bring you this 24-hour epic stream, because we reached 500 subs. We're sitting at 565 right now. Thanks to the friendos, we're on road to 1,000, where we will, at 1,000 subs, the Hot Pepper Challenge, Larson. Oh, goo.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Are you excited about the Hot Pepper Challenge?
At 500, we're going to stream for 24 hours, deprive ourselves of sleep, and then for 1,000, we're just going to eat something really spicy.
So number one, that's a very Steve and Larson way of doing things, which I mean ass backwards. And then numero dos, well, I probably should not have committed to the 24-hour stream for 500 subs, because I didn't think we were going to get there. Joke's on me, I guess. Anyways, so that's that, mattress man. I don't know when we're going to do another.
Anyways, it'll probably be sometime end of August. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Why don't we, how about this? I'll put this out there.
How about we do it for my birthday? Let's do my birthday.
Well, that's not late August. That's early September. We could do, so All Out's the 29th. We could do that the other place. Recap stream here. And after that, just go for like 23 more hours.
Again, the main thing is I want to break after I do a podcast. So that doesn't work.
We can put on WrathCon after we're done with that and watch that. And
that's kind of a break. Okay, that's not a terrible idea.
While the podcast uploads, you're not really working. Once it's done filming it, you take a break, put on.
Oh wow! WrathCon. So watching All In is not going to be part of the 24 hours.
No, because we're going to do that the other place.
So what you're suggesting is actually a 27-hour stream,
roughly.
Your logic defies me, friend. Anyways, we'll talk about it. Negotiations, as I said, continue on into the night. So yeah, and then of course you can find this show wherever audio podcasts can be found. This week's Raw, Larson saw MORE Seth Rollins trying to take eyes out of people's heads. The return of NIa Jax. The Summerslam main event confirmed. But the thing everyone's talking about right now, Larson, is the controversial finish between Sasha Banks and Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. I've seen a lot of different opinions on this. How did you feel about Sasha winning the title and the way she did so?
Oh, sorry, stop the presses. All Out is actually September 5th. So we could do the 29th.
It's my birthday. Oh, no, okay.
The birthday's following day, not the 5th. Let me know when your own birthday is.
It's that and calculus.
How do I feel about Sasha? I thought it was cool that Sasha won. It's pretty obvious that they had some plans for SummerSlam, and they decided, nope, we're not doing those plans, because I guess they were hoping to do Sasha Bailey at SummerSlam, and then probably Asuka Shayna, based on what we saw tonight. None of that is happening. Nope. Shayna got chumped out pretty bad by NIa Jax, not once, but twice.
Did Vince tell NIa just act like Shayna's not touching you?
I swore when they first started throwing haymakers in opening segment, or throwing shots, it looked like Shayna NIa hit on one of those.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that looks stiff. It looked like that connected anyways. So Shayna got chumped out twice in two different segments. So she's not challenging anybody for any titles anytime soon. I'm sure she'll in the end defeat NIa, but her title opportunities for Shayna are down the road. So we got this finish to the Sasha-Asuka match. Sasha wins. I would speculate we're going to get Asuka-Sasha again at SummerSlam. Just a hunch. I don't know who Bayley is going to defend against. I'm supposing whenever Bayley and Sasha happens, they want that to be in front of fans. So if that means pushing to Mania, they'll push to Mania. If that means pushing to SummerSlam next year, they'll push to SummerSlam next year. I just kind of get the idea that's one of those matches that they really want to do in front of fans, and they're going to wait for it.
Let me interject here really quick. I wonder if this is just me throwing it out there. I wonder if it might be less about wanting it in front of fans, which is definitely a possibility. I wonder if it more has to do with the ratings. The fact that these two together as an act have proven to be a ratings draw that they can rely on.
That could be part of it.
And I just wonder if they might be waiting until, they're going to try to milk that as much as they can.
That's
without
entirely possible.
Overdoing it. It doesn't feel, honestly, at this point, like for a little while now, it is too early for this to happen. They are firing on all cylinders, and I'm kind of shocked that I didn't just see this happening anyways, because like it makes all this, like Sasha having that Raw title, Bayley having, them having all the gold, like legitimately just seemed like the next obvious step, which is one of those things where when you and I talk about this stuff, it's like, okay, well, we have in our heads what we think is gonna happen. Obviously, I wonder how many times they've had to change course since Becky announced her pregnancy. I mean, there was Shayna, probably should have won at Mania, and then Becky did the pregnancy thing, and then so like with the Shayna thing, I don't know how many times they've probably changed course, but this seems like
seemingly 3, because I'm pretty sure Shayna at one point was probably going to win the Rumble. Then she was winning Mania. And then I think she was originally slated, if some rumors would be believed, to win Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. Obviously, none of those things happened. And then she maybe was supposed to get a title opportunity at SummerSlam against Asuka. Now that's seemingly been derailed. Mm-hmm. So it just seems like there's a lot. As far as your point about Sasha and Bayley being a draw, that's true, and maybe that's one reason they're keeping them together. Also, if they play their cards right, whatever feud that happens between the two of them, because the build's been pretty good, because they have been so good together, that should boost ratings as well. That should be a draw to see them in a feud against one another. That should mm-hmm. if they do it right, do mm-hmm. really well. But
yeah, for sure. What did you think about the method of the finish, the storytelling of the finish? Because obviously the main problem that most people have with it is it's not a clean finish. I don't want a clean finish against Asuka because I love Asuka.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I mean, I guess it's a fairly effective way to write Kyrie off and do so in a meaningful manner, other than she just gets attacked and then that's that. Asuka had a decision she had to make. Did she go for the title that she never really lost and try to reclaim that, or go and try to save her friend? And I didn't necessarily have a problem with it. I didn't think there's anything wrong with it.
I actually liked it, and I liked it in the execution. In that the performances were all really, really. I thought they were really good. I mean, some of the issues that I saw that I got, because I actually on Twitter I said, man, that was a pretty good match. I like the storytelling at the end. I thought Kyrie yelling out for Asuka was really cool. I thought that was really effective. It was.
Yeah, I thought that kind of took it from being your run of the mill backstage beatdown as a distraction to something, a little more than that.
It was like, I know you're not a fan of The Walking Dead, but there's a scene where one of the characters that I think people liked a lot, Glenn, it's what's his name? Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, Negan. He like completely kills him in front of spoiler alert, this happened years ago. And he like yells out his lady's name right beforehand. It just reminded me of that, like that, the guttural cry for help of somebody is pretty effective. I thought Kyrie was great doing that. I thought
she was good. She was good.
I thought Asuka's reaction when she came out of the trainer's room after Bayley and Sasha showed up and started celebrating, and she literally had tears down her face, like she had tears coming out of her eye. That was like real. And then she just started like screaming in Japanese. I thought that was very effective. So yeah, I thought all that was good. I mean, yeah, you could talk about it. I mean, one person I saw on my Twitter feed, and I understand this, who's this Ben Prest said, why did the backstage assault play on the Titantron? I just sort of chalked that up. Look, number one, you can chalk it up to just the language of wrestling. Like the Tron has been known to like show wrestlers stuff.
SmackDown hacker.
The SmackDown hacker. You could say that, Bayley had some sort of influence over that happening if she's, bullied the cameraman into saying, hey, show this. I mean, there are explanations for it, but I get the point.
It'd been great if it wouldn't take, because I actually did think that. I was like, well, okay, kayfabe-wise, how is that motivated? How is this beatdown just put up on the Tron without someone's directive? And it's a real simple thing to do. They've done it once, to my knowledge. Is when Batista got the cameraman, brought over to him, beating up Ric Flair. So you come in the middle of this beatdown. Bayley, you just see her grabbing the camera person, pulling them over, and then she continues it.
It's not a leap in logic. It's not a leap in logic.
Or it's a simple thing to show too. It takes a matter of seconds.
And the other complaint I've seen, which I don't agree with, is I've seen people say, well, she was like, Sasha was dead. Like, she was beaten. Like, why couldn't she have just either gotten a quick pin, put her in the thing? And I'm like, her friend is getting murdered right now. You don't think logically. You don't think, okay, let me compartmentalize. Let me do this really quick, and then I'll get back to my friend who's being murdered right now.
Because she was trying to do that. She was trying to say, okay, put the Asuka lock on her, finish the match.
She was still beaten. She was still beating up Sasha, but she was obviously distracted. I liked it. I thought it was really good, and I thought the match that preceded it, or the match that they had, was great. It was great. So I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was really cool. Asuka lost the Raw Women's Championship legitimately, but due to Bayley beating the crap out of Kairi Sane, and Kairi Sane hopped on Twitter and gave a really heartfelt thank you. So that does seem to be, that's how she's being written off. Right now. So yeah, but no, we want to know what you guys think. Please let us know in the comments below. What did you guys think of this finish? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Give us your thoughts about Kairi Sane's time in the WWE, man. She's something pretty terrific, Larson. Before we get started with the recap, though, I wanted to give a shout out to some new patrons we have here. Let's see here, because we had just a couple here. Ooh, I like this. Today at noon, the RB King, the King of Arby's, evidently became a new patron. A returning patron, DJ Booty Dan, is back. And over the weekend, we had Tyler Quint. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
and of
all.
course,
thank you very
as
much.
a patron, or as a YouTube channel member, or throwing us a Twitch sub, which I'm just trying to do something here. Just gifted like a bunch of these subs to our friendos here in the Twitch chat. So thanks for that. You get access to our bonus content today on Friendo Club TV. We talked about, we each did we power ranked 5 ways they can get Aleister Black out of his current creative rut. And boy, what a rut we saw tonight for Aleister Black. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Raycon. Larson.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in front of your computer recording one of our shows or listening to some new dope jams, do you actually want to listen to what you're listening to, or do you want to listen to whatever your family is doing?
You know me, Steve. When I'm working, I want to concentrate on what I'm doing, whether that's recording a podcast, recording some music, or listening to the newest, freshest jams. I need a great pair of earbuds to make sure I actually hear what I'm trying to do. But did I drop hundreds of dollars on a pair? Oh no, I checked out some wireless earbuds from Raycon. Raycon earbuds start at half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as great as the other top brands you know.
Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a compact, comfortable design that gives you a great noise isolating fit.
My Raycons have become my go-to wireless earbuds. They're comfortable. They sound fantastic. Unlike some of the other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are stylish and discreet. That means no dangling wires or stems to distract while working out or recording a podcast. You've probably seen celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, J.R. Smith, and company co-founder Ray J wearing their Raycons. Now you can pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about.
Now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Right now, get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/raw. That's buyraycon.com/raw for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. buyraycon.com/raw. Let's jump right into this. Randy Orton comes out. He starts talking about the history of Randy Orton, how he's been part of factions, the Authority.
He's got a pretty good history.
He's got a great history. He's done
good history.
A lot of good stuff Randy Orton's done there in his history.
He's got a good history.
Yeah. That just literally sounds like you're on a loop now. Stop doing that. It's freaking me out. He says he's very consistent. He does what he wants when he wants to do it, at what any time he wants to do it, with whoever he wants to do it with. He says, but something's missing. And I was like, I wrote down here in my Steve notes, I bet it's the title. And then he said, it's the WWE title.
How come he didn't look at his waist before he said there's something missing? There's no title there. No championship.
It's the title. Pants. It's missing pants.
Well, that too. Championship, though. He wants that WWE championship. He's like, so this is when I bring Drew out. But, he doesn't have much of a resume. 10 years ago, he was the chosen one. But he had his head so far up his butt. Mm-hmm. The only thing he chose was to be fired.
Womp womp.
So he said, yeah, he did fight his way back to WWE. He has Orton's respect because he did beat Brock at Mania 36 in like 5 minutes. But he says Drew has a problem. That problem is that Drew has what Randy wants. He wants a title match at SummerSlam. And when he wins, Drew, you'll never see it coming.
Yeah, because this is the RKO.
It's the RKO thing.
It's out of nowhere. It's a good bookend for what happens later. Anyways, after that, before he even gets to the back, Nia Jax's music hits and she comes out. They sort of cross paths. What do you think of that little convention? They do that every once in a while. What do you think of that?
Well, of course, they have history because didn't Orton RKO her during the Rumble, that one Rumble she came into?
Yeah, that was a cool moment. That was a really cool moment. They didn't really look at each other, though. They didn't reference that.
They didn't. They didn't reference it whatsoever. Not even a pause that I recall. I missed opportunity, but I guess there was an opportunity there.
So now it's her time to talk, Larson. And she feels the same as Randy. She's like, samesies. I woke up today. I want to be champion too, but I want to be Raw Women's Champion. She says she was screwed out of her title because like Asuka or whatever.
John Cone. She blames John Cone.
Oh, that's right. And she had words for John later.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Shayna interrupts. She's like, nobody gives a damn what you want. And then Nia punches Shayna. And then they fight.
Yeah, she clocks her the form. They're brawling. I swear it's like a hockey fight. And Shayna does like an overhand right that looks like it connected. Or came close because I thought Shayna did this. Like the
wait, you mean so Nia? So I must have missed it. Nia, you think Nia threw a stiff one at her?
Well, I don't think she intentionally did it.
Would that be shocking to you at all if Nia Jax did that?
So she's
wouldn't shock me.
Shayna steps up to her and says, no one gives a damn what you want. Nia clocks her the form and they start doing a hockey fight. And it just looked like there was one shot that came in a little hot, and Shayna had to like do this.
Yeah.
Maybe get out of the way or maybe it clipped her or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? Shayna did look like she had a little bit extra oomph tonight. I wonder if she is like, man, Vince wants me to reach for whatever this goddamn brass ring is. Now I got to figure out how to do that. So like she had a bit more of a strut in her walk. She was even throwing her hands up a little bit like Vince when she was walking down the ramp. Yeah, I was like, is this what he wants? Is this what the old man wants? I don't know anymore. So who knows? Maybe she laid one in and Nia looked for a receipt. Who knows? Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's broken up by refs.
Yeah. After that, we get a Street Profits promo. They said they're excited to be on Raw tonight because the winner of the next match faces them. Ford Montez then says when he woke up this morning, this whole thing, this is a theme through the first 20 minutes of Raw. Everybody waking up and having realizations.
Tapes.
And he says, as I ate my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I thought, there's one thing they must do. And Dawkins says, I know what it is. You know what it is? I know what it is. Ring announcing. Before they get to the ring announcing, they introduce 3 teams that are participating in the next match. Viking Raiders, Ricochet and Cedric, Andrade and Angel Garza.
Well, that is ring announcing. That's what they did. They got to do that.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I got confused with.
You thought commentating because they did that too.
So when I said that at first, because I was kind of half paying attention, I was like, they've done commentary before. They've been on commentary before.
Yeah. What was the first thing you thought of when you woke up this morning, dude? Let me guess. Another day.
It's like, actually, the first thing I thought when I got this morning, I was like, oh, it's not 6 o'clock in the morning. I actually slept in a little bit. That's nice.
What time did you sleep until?
Like 7:20.
Oh, wow. 9:10 for me. It's pretty cool. Anyways,
nice.
After that, we had a pretty fun tag match. Garza and Andrade, of course, were trying to figure out how to beat up on 4 people who all hate them. Because there was a lot of... This was bizarre to me. The finish to this match is actually pretty bizarre. Maybe you can explain it to me. So, like... Garza and Andrade sort of got out of the ring at first and were like egging the other 2 good guy teams to like fight each other, right?
They want to fight. Yeah, they were waiting for their opportunity. Yeah.
So then Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, they don't have a name. And War Raiders, they're like, hey, let's go outside and get these guys. So that's sort of the theme of the match. Like the good guys were sort of beating up on the bad guys. Why did Hansen just land on his partner and the 2 other good guys in the ring to let Garza get his wing clipper off?
I'll tell you why. It's because the Viking Raiders are going to have to start a feud with Cedric and Ricochet.
I would love that. Those are great matches happening.
In terms of why he did it in the moment, there's no rationale except that for storytelling purposes, they're trying to set something up between these 2 teams.
Also, did I miss something? Were they talking about Hansen trying to like romance Charlie Caruso?
The Street Profits in their promo before when they were introducing the teams?
Somebody was talking about that like in commentary or something.
Oh, okay.
They're like, oh, he's going to swoop Garza for Charlie's attention or something like that. I was like, did I miss a segment? And I looked at your notes. I was like, no, I don't see that. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe
so yeah, Hansen did the thing on to the outside, taking out his own partner and Cedric and Ricochet.
That happened last week? That's actually something that happened. I don't remember that. He did it last week? Really?
So that just leaves Andrade and Garza. They put Cedric in the ring. Garza hits him with the wing clipper. They get the win. They'll get the title shot at SummerSlam. Afterwards, there's a stare down between Garza and Andrade and the Street Profits. And then for a brief little bit, and then Angel and Andrade attack him, and then take the hood off the announce table and just kind of throw it at him.
Man, I do not remember that happening last week. Apparently, Ivar gave Charlie a rose last week.
It was Garza's rose, wasn't it?
Oh.
He took the rose from Garza and then gave it to her.
Was last week the week that I was gone?
No.
Dang it.
I
thought I had an out. Anyways, after that, Andrade and Garza. Yeah, so Street Profits are like talking crap. Andrade and Garza come out, they talk crap, and they like shove him and like, I don't know, dump the top of
the announce table.
Yeah. Anyways, after that, we got a silent scene between Nia Jax and John Cone. She's giving him the business, saying, "You better not screw me this week, pal." And then after that, we had Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler, or so we thought. What was this, dude? This was terrible.
It was lame. And on top of that, like Nia was just like tossing Shayna around all over the place. Like Shayna barely got anything in. She got a head kick. Nia no-sold it.
Dude, yeah, when anything Shayna threw at Nia Jax completely acted like nothing happened. I mean, that's gotta be direction, right? They're trying to make her like
maybe the idea is
so
unstoppable that when Shayna eventually beats her, which I assume is going to happen.
Oh, that's going to happen.
It's going to seem
gotta happen.
All the more impressive, but yeah, I don't know. So anyway, security comes out. They take them out. Pat Buck, who's a producer backstage, he runs down. He's trying to keep them apart. And then I think Shayna kind of pushes him. And then Nia shoves the hell out of him right into Shayna. And that sends Shayna out of the ring. And then Nia proceeds to bully him, takes his shirt off, his dress shirt off, and then sends him from the ring. Then Shayna gets back on the apron, Referees are holding her from getting in the ring, and then Nia knocks her off the apron again.
Yeah, I know. I was just concentrating on the fact that Pat Buck didn't undo one of his buttons so that his shirt could come off completely. Because like it was just on his head, like he couldn't do that. He couldn't take it off. He looked ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, that top button. Yeah, if that's button, you try to pull it up over your head. That
ain't
a lost
happening.
cause, man.
That ain't
you
happening.
Can't do that.
Not
you
happening.
Can't do that.
Not happening.
You can't do that. Not happening.
After that,
Can't do that.
We were backstage. Can't do that. We had
Not
backstage. What's his name? Buddy Murphy, and Seth Rollins. And Murphy's, for some reason, worried about Walter showing up. And when I say Walter, I mean Dominic. I would be worried if Walter, but Dominic, he's a kid.
I'd be terrified if Walter showed up.
If he showed up at my house, especially.
That dude is imposing and intimidating.
Oh, he's terrifying. So he's worried about Walter. Seth is like, don't worry about Dominic. He ain't going to do nothing. He's like, Murphy, some people just can't get out of their own way. The greater good will move forward, and tonight will be different. Because tonight he's going to try to take like 2 eyes out. After that, we had some backstage between Mark Henry, and he's talking to Ruby Riott and Bianca Belair. And if I'm not mistaken, that's all we saw of Ruby Riott and Bianca Belair tonight.
Correct.
After
and
that,
we saw another quick little bit with Mark Henry talking to Drew McIntyre before the main event too.
Yeah. What's with all these legends coming back and just talking to people backstage and them not doing anything with it?
I don't know.
Is Meltzer going to give us some weird update tomorrow about like, oh yeah, they were going to start Mark Henry is there to restart the Union, but they decided not to do it. Just making stuff up. I'm joking. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, forhims.com. Hey, Larson.
Yeah?
Do you feel like you're moving forward with your life while that hairline of yours is moving backwards? 66% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. But I'm here to tell you that the best time to prevent even more hair loss is to do something right now while you still have some up on your dome.
It can be tough for guys to go to the doctor and get care for issues that may seem uncomfortable, even if they're totally normal and completely treatable. Thanks to the wonders of science, hair loss can be optional. Science. Hims connects you with FDA-approved products to treat your hair loss.
That's right. Hims connects you with licensed medical professionals online. All you got to do is answer a few questions for free to see if FDA-approved hair loss treatments are right for you. If approved, products are shipped directly to your door.
Today, Hims is giving you their best offer yet. If you're not happy with the results after 90 days, Hims will give you a full refund. And right now, Going in Raw listeners can get their first visit absolutely free. Go to forhims.com/GIR.
Remember, that's forhims.com/GIR. Full refund of price paid available for the first 90-day supply. Refund requests must be made between 90 and 180 days after product shipment delivered. Prescription products require an online consultation with a medical professional who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
After that, we got a Seth Rollins promo. He talked a lot as usual. He talks about beating Ray at Extreme Rules, saying last week he beat Alistair. Monday Night Messiah is on a roll. You'd think he'd be in a good mood, but he's not because Dominic is there. And Dominic wants to confront him. And he says this is a recurring theme. Every time the greater good takes 2 steps forward, someone gets in their way. They have to take a step backward, and someone gets hurt in the process. And he says, I don't want to be the person who hurts people. He doesn't want to be violent. That's not who he is. And the last time Dom came to Raw, he jumped him from behind and things got violent. But tonight's going to be different. He invites Dominic down to the ring. Says, I don't want to do it. No violence tonight. So Dominic walks to the stage. Seth's like, you don't have to stay up there. Come to the ring. Promise I won't hurt you. Murphy, go lower the ropes for him. So Murphy lowers the ropes. Dominic gets in. And Seth says, I understand why you wanted to come to Raw. Got things you want to get off your chest. Understand things are difficult given what Seth did to his dad. And if it's not possible for you to articulate your feelings, Seth says, I'm there for you if you need guidance or help. And he opens his arms to him.
Yeah.
And then
Dominic attacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, double leg.
All hell breaks out at that point, man. My God.
It does.
So, Dominic attacks Seth. They just beat the crap out of him because Murphy helps out, obviously. They start, flinging him into the barricade.
He does a hell of a job tossing his body around in the barricade.
Dominic was good tonight.
He was good. When he's taking those German suplexes from Brock last year, man, he was launching himself.
It's probably not easy to, like, with the kind of precision that looks like being precise while you're looking reckless.
Yes.
Wield that kendo stick the way he did at the end of the segment.
Oh, man.
So,
that was crazy.
So they completely destroy Walter. And then, of course, Aleister Black comes running down with his arm all bandaged.
Yes.
And then they just completely embarrass the man. It's
so
pathetic.
I'm going to get the math right here because, as you mentioned at the end, so Dominic's laid up. They beat down Aleister. And then this part was really good. Seth gets on Buddy. He's like, hey, you know what you need to do? Are you in it for the greater good? And he slaps him, berates him until Buddy drags Aleister over the ring steps, starts shoving his face towards the corner of one of the steps, rams his eye in a little bit. Looked like Seth pulled him off. Trainers come out to attend to Aleister. Buddy seems kind of shocked and overwhelmed by what he just did. And he's about to go after Dom. And then Dom has a kendo stick, just wails away at him. Same for Seth. Buddy and Seth flee. So the math on all this right now is that Dominic Mysterio is getting a vastly more significant push than Aleister Black is.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio is a big deal. They want to re-sign him, and the way you do that, like, look, if you know there was a Baby Budgeon around and he was a good prospect as a wrestler, I'm sure they'd be giving him a push. Or Aleister Black. I don't know.
Well,
man.
The thing is, like, I don't think
sucks.
it's not.
Sucks.
It doesn't have to be an either or situation.
They make Aleister Black look so bad. Some of this would make sense, and I'd be totally fine with it if you just take him out and you put the guy we saw later on, Humberto Carrillo, in. Which, by the way, where was he in all this? Mm-hmm. You do this to Carrillo. Carrillo's young. He can take all this punishment, and he was never NXT champion.
I know that's story fodder for him. If he takes all this punishment, yeah,
exactly. But Aleister Black, good Lord. And then they did the thing. I thought that they wrote him off last week with that arm. Did they write him off this week with the eye?
No, he'll be back next week with an eye patch.
And then they're going to do the other eye, huh? Yeah, this is terrible. The man. Like, I know Bob Roode has had the worst NXT call-up, but, like, Aleister Black is quickly rising the ranks of that particular list, man.
Bob Roode's had the worst in terms of completely not understanding what NXT got right about him. Not to say that main roster Aleister was an obvious continuation of what happened in NXT, but they kept. You take the room out of the situation. They kept all the superficial stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, they didn't make him smiley baby face.
Yeah, same guy.
The mystique was still kind of there. He just was holed up in a room waiting for someone to knock on his door, which is ridiculous. As opposed to Bob Roode, which it seemed like whoever was in charge of his creative when he got called had never watched him in NXT.
Didn't understand anything.
And only
about
heard
him.
his theme song. Yes, that's
didn't
what
know
Bob
didn't
Roode's
know who he
character
was.
seemed to be. No.
Yeah.
So, like, and apart from, Aleister's only taken 2 losses in more than a year, almost a year and a half.
Yeah, technically speaking, but tonight was an L. Last week was an L. Philosophically speaking, the guy takes. I mean, being stuck in a room for like 6 months.
3 months. 3 months.
That's a massive L right there. That's a.
I'm not going to say it's anything less than an L. I'm just saying, I in my book, considering where Bob Roode was at when he got called up to where he was the night he debuted.
Yeah,
it was. The fall was stark, and it was written all over his face after his debut when he did that promo with that giant smile on his face.
And it's funny
to say they have no idea what they're doing with it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. A lot of people here in chat are bringing up other names, but what you just said is exactly correct. Compared to where they were in NXT, I mean, yeah, I know Ascension had a year-long tag title reign, but like there was no competition there,
and that was a different NXT.
It was a different NXT. EC3, he had a cup of coffee in NXT, and so I mean, yeah, his was really bizarre, but no, dude, I mean, who is it? CDN Mountain Man said Kevin Owens. I would put Kevin Owens at like the best call-up. He's had one of the best careers from NXT.
Well, Finn, and Paige had the best call-ups. Yeah,
for sure. So, anyways, after all that. Yeah, so like I think you went through everything, right? Walter got the kendo stick. Okay. After that, Mustafa Ali is backstage. Truth comes up to him. Man, how much weight do you think Mustafa Ali put on in muscle, dude?
I think he said on Twitter like 10 or 15 pounds.
Yeah, it's got to be that. Man, if you take a look at him back in the Cruiserweight division, the Cruiserweight Classic, it is stark. Anyways, R-Truth comes up to him, and he sort of sheepishly asks, he's like, hey, man, are you going to go after that 24/7 title? And Ali's like, no, I got a match with Bob Lashley tonight. And R-Truth says, all right, I got my eyes on you because that title's mine. I'm going after my title. And he says, I got my eyes on you, Mufasa. And Ali's like, did he just call me Mufasa? Mustafa Ali he's so smooth. He's so genuine.
Oh, he's so good, man. He's so dang good. That's what I'm not surprised he lost. Jumping ahead a bit, his match. I understand it's Lashley. They're building him up, but it's just the manner in which he lost it was disheartening.
Oh, Ali's getting that U.S. title. He's getting that U.S. title, man. Don't you worry about that. We had a commercial for the World of Tanks SummerSlam. This was the weirdest thing because I was outside in my backyard. For some reason, I have no idea why or where it came from. That little flash drive, the thumb drive that we got.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 7 years ago.
Probably about 8 years ago.
It was just hanging out like on the little side table in my backyard.
You know what that's called? Serendipity.
And then I come over here and the commercial. This was a couple days ago. The first time I heard about World of Tanks SummerSlam. I was like, what the hell is that all about? That's weird. Today's episode of Going In Raw is sponsored by Indochino. Indochino was started on the belief that custom clothing shouldn't cost a fortune, so they offer made-to-measure clothing at a fair price. Suits, blazers, shirts, pants, and coats are all available, and you get to customize everything. From the fabric and lining to lapel shape, the choice is all yours.
I imagine I'm like a lot of guys out there who are kind of in between sizes. I can't tell you how many times I've bought a pair of pants that fit great around the waist, but a little too tight around the leg or too short. But after booking a virtual style consultation at Indochino.com and sending in my measurements, I got a great pair of pants that fit perfectly at a great price. Now I know I got pants I can wear for basically any occasion that look great, and I didn't have to break the bank to get them.
Yeah, I got a dress shirt that fits great, looks amazing through Indochino without having to leave my house, Larson. Indochino has showrooms across North America, or you can book a virtual appointment and shop online at Indochino.com. And right now, you can get an extra $30 off any purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com when entering RAW at checkout. That's Indochino.com, promo code RAW. Seriously, after that, Hurt Business is in the ring with their lounge, the VIP lounge, and MVP is talking about he's happy to have met Mustafa Ali so he could help him. So there's an invite to the Hurt Business waiting for Mustafa Ali. Sure enough, he comes out, and he's like, I feel like the stockholders of the Hurt Business aren't too happy with you because last week, me and Cedric and Ricochet put you out of business. And he said, I'm happy that I'm back. And he really did seem happy to be back.
Yeah,
he said, I'm happy to climb the ladder, and I'm happy to become a real champion. And MVP's like, oh, you mean like how I'm the real U.S. champion. That's what you mean, right? So anyways, long story short, MVP pitches Mustafa Ali on joining Hurt Business. Mustafa Ali's like, nah, man, you can't brainwash me the way you brainwash these two meatheads here. And I love Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin's reaction to that. They were not too happy. MVP basically says, Apollo Crews did the exact same thing, and look at him now. He's at home watching this from his couch. He said, you could be champion or you could be chum.
Be chum in the water for predators, I think is what he said, right?
Yeah.
So Ali goes, nah. Then R-Truth runs down, pushes Shelton out of the ring, rolls him up. Shelton kicks out. R-Truth takes his leave, runs up the ramp, go to commercial, come back. We get Mustafa Ali taking on Bob Lashley. I understand they're booking Bob Lashley to be basically unstoppable this juncture. We saw him throw around Ricochet a few weeks back. But I at least feel like Ricochet got some offense in on his own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Brian, like the really the most significant bit of offense that Ali got in was after Tozawa tried to roll up Shelton Benjamin for that 24/7 title, and the Ninjas came down to attack Hurt Business. Of course, they fend them off. and Lashley's kind of preoccupied with one, and Ali hits the suicide dive. And I know Ali hit a tornado DDT later on, but it just kind of felt like it was a match where like the only real opportunity for the tide to really turn was due to outside interference. And I just kind of feel like that was a disservice to Mustafa Ali.
What's kind of interesting is that Mustafa Ali looks so much bigger now, but he can still move like amazing.
I know.
And the problem might be he needs to stop selling like a cruiserweight if he's going to be bigger than a cruiserweight. You know what I mean? Because he's getting beef on him. Mm. But his selling is just absolutely crazy.
Oh, so good. You're talking about I know in relation to Dominic as far as being careful while simultaneously being kind of reckless. Yeah. It was related to Dominic doing the kendo shots, but Ali is like that with his selling.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. He's being careful to protect himself. It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it at all. Looks like he's just throwing his body around.
The bit where Lashley threw him into the post, oh my God, that was amazing. That looked so devastating. You just hope that like Vince isn't looking at that and saying, oh, this is a guy that I know I can ragdoll. And so that's what he's going to be for the entirety of his career. I sometimes wonder if that happens, like if that's sort of what happened with Dolph. If like Vince was just like, I mean, I know that they try to put the world title on him, but like what's Dolph known for? His almost cartoonish selling ability. Like he's a really, really good seller, sometimes a bit too much.
The Fiddler here, sorry, go ahead, continue.
No, go ahead.
The Fiddler here in chat brings up a point. Said if Lashley is supposed to be this killer, is he going back to the main event scene? That's why I don't know what the end game is for Lashley. They're booking him as basically unstoppable. But like, where does he fit into the championship picture? I understand in the world title, not at all at this moment, but like he's not even the U.S. title picture.
Well, his good friend and well, I'm not going to say mentor, but his good friend and business partner MVP is the U.S. champion.
Yeah, I understand, but I mean, I guess going into this, if you'd asked me 2 months ago when this partnership was kind of forged, because the idea was MVP was pitching Bob Lashley like, hey, I can help make you a champion, right?
Yeah.
And who's a champion now? Not Bob Lashley.
I know, but doesn't that show you like the freaking smarts of MVP? Like he's totally brainwashed those meatheads, Larson.
Oh no, I from a storyline perspective, I understand all that. It's just in terms of the booking of Bob Lashley, where he's basically unstoppable. Like I just want to know what the end game is for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine so. Like I'm just sort of putting myself in that in those shoes. Maybe it's Lashley understands, hey, I didn't get that world title, but I was pretty darn close in his mind. That's my scene. And yeah, I have to wait it out now because I had my chance, but I'm sure that if I stick with MVP, he can make things happen, and that's where I want to be. I can assume that's maybe the motivation. But I am wondering at this point, especially since, hey, look, Lashley's great. Yeah. He's also past 40. What they could use him to build a guy like, look, Ali comes back with 15 pounds more muscle. He's fantastic in every way. Maybe Vince sees that. Maybe he's like, hey, let's put you with Lashley. He's going to tap you out in this first match, but you're going to chip away at him and you're eventually going to get the win if the reaction is good. That's all I can think. That's me being way optimistic about things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hopeful. that they'll do something with Mustafa Ali because I think he's great. I think he's utterly outstanding.
They saw enough of him to at least give him like a title scene with Daniel Bryan back then before he got injured. You know, maybe they still see it. Maybe they see it again. Maybe they see, hey, this guy was out, and look at how he's come back. Look at how great he's come back. This guy has nothing but ambition. Let's reward that. And let's give him Bobby Lashley, who's a big monster guy. That's a big win if Ali gets it.
Yeah, I mean, if in a month's time that happens, I will have understood this. Then, but I guess it just make more sense if I knew what they were doing with Bob Lashley, other than just building up to be unstoppable. But it's got to pay off in some respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. How about that flatliner?
Looked great, man.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, and then even like the 450 getting caught into a full Nelson finish. That was awesome. Another thing that was awesome, Sasha Banks versus Asuka before that match, though. Sasha and Bayley had a promo. Sasha goes off on
totally
Stephanie.
Skipped over this Dolph Ziggler interview.
I might have been out of the room. What happened?
Oh, okay. So it was real quick. And so he's asked, hey, do you know what the stipulation is? He goes, no, I don't know, and I don't care. And then even though tonight was a non-title match, I believe, I think he spoke really fast, and I feel like he kind of stumbled over his words, so I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to say. I think he said that he was going to be the one to take on Randy at SummerSlam, but it also made it sound like that he was going to win the title at SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah, that did none of that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I wish I had seen that now. I think I had to go out and like check on spaghetti or something. I don't know, dude. In any event, after that, I believe we had Sasha and Bayley doing their promo.
Correct.
Sasha going off on Stephanie because she's a bully, because she's jealous of them. Bayley once again explains her motivations for counting the 3. And then Asuka comes out with Kairi Sane, who then runs Bayley off so that it's just Asuka versus Sasha Banks. This match was just a ton of fun. No description can really do it justice. Sasha, the basic story, Sasha trying to work the legs of Asuka for much of it, but there was a lot of back and forth.
I love the stuff
beginning
when Sasha, given the stipulation that any DQ or count out or interference was going to lead to a change of title, that early on Sasha was just trying to find ways to get Asuka disqualified. So Asuka has got the upper hand at one point, and Sasha runs out of the ring and goes, I don't care. I'm done. I'm walking out of here. And so she takes both the belts, and the rest like, what are you doing? If you get counted out, you lose. And she's like, I don't care. I'm out of here. So he starts counting, and eventually Sasha slides the tag title in. The ref goes and gets that. She gets the ring with the Raw Women's title and tosses it at Asuka, but she happens to do it right when the ref's turning around.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ref's like, I saw what you did. I could DQ you right now.
Just try to do the Eddie thing. We know about that. We studied that in ref school.
Backfired though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was and then
Asuka
really
kicks
good.
her head off. That was great.
There's a lot of really great submission wrestling in this match. Working limbs, it was great.
But yeah, dude, like whenever Asuka hits the German suplex on Sasha, it just looks brutal. Hip attack, guy gets 2. Banks hits a frog splash for 2, gets a bank statement in. Asuka gets the ropes, but then Sasha does the thing where she pushes off the ropes, but then Asuka flips that. Then she gets thrown out, brawl on the outside. It's just, man. And then when Sasha takes Asuka's left leg to the announce table.
That was good.
And then Asuka barely beats the 10. That was good.
All the transition stuff Asuka and Sasha were doing from one, like there's a sequence where I think where Asuka went for a Fujiwara armbar, and then a cross arm breaker, and then switch arms to the other arm. And there's another great bit where she did like the flying knee bar and transition from that into an ankle lock. There's just so much good technical wrestling in this match. It was awesome.
It was one of those things where they take their move sets, they match them up against each other, and then they invert everything. They you expect something to happen, but then they twist it into something you haven't seen before, into a counter of that move you haven't seen before. And I always get so tickled when wrestlers find new and creative ways to do that, and they totally did that here. So let's talk about the finish here. Sasha had countered something. Asuka hits a drop kick, and then on the Tron, Bayley is beating the crap out of Kairi Sane. Asuka obviously is distracted by this, hits a German on Sasha, tries to keep her eyes on the match, but then Kairi yells out for Asuka. Asuka finally just decides to go running off to save her friend. Sasha's just laying there the entire time. She's out. And then the ref, which this was actually kind of funny because I kind of noticed this too. The ref got to 6 very quickly. Like that's one thing I noticed is that I think probably because they were going wide with a lot of the stuff and they were focusing on what Asuka was doing, they didn't really notice the ref counting at first, I guess, or at least I didn't. And I think a lot of people on Twitter that I interacted with didn't also, because like they go back to the ref and he's like 6, 7, 10. And then that was it, Sasha. That's how it felt anyways. Sasha's the new champ, the new Raw Women's Champion. Bayley comes running out, and they celebrate with each other. And it's like, man, WrestleMania a couple years ago, them just completely destroyed over losing those tag titles after they want to do something special with them. And they're doing something really special right now, man.
That they are. Afterward, Charlie Caruso's outside the trainer's room, saying no update on Kyrie other than she's being treated. In walk Bailey and Sasha. They celebrate, then they leave, and then Asuka exits. Charlie asks her for an update, and Asuka is looking absolutely devastated. She just starts screaming.
Yeah. After that, we had a video package about Regis Philbin, who passed away this past weekend. Were you a big Regis Philbin fan, Larson?
Yeah, I liked Regis.
I appreciated Regis. It's kind of all I have to say about Regis Philbin.
I mean, I can't say I'm a follower of his work to a great deal, but he was reasonably entertaining.
He was always just a presence. There was those guys that were just always a presence. Is Carson still alive? He passed away, didn't he? No.
Who?
Johnny Carson, man. Come on.
Yeah, he died a long time ago.
Carson Daly.
Well, you said Carson. Johnny Carson died a long time ago.
2014, I'm going to say. 2005? Gee whiz, that was
a long time
15
ago.
years ago. Wow.
Yeah, I appreciate Regis's contributions to entertainment.
Holy crap.
I could probably count on one hand the number of episodes of his show I watched. I don't even know what it's called. The show he had with Kelly Ripa and then Kathy Lee Gifford before that. Don't remember what it's called. It was on forever.
Wasn't it just live with Regis and
That sounds right.
Kathy?
Yeah.
I think it's just live with Regis and Kathy.
Yeah.
So Carson was 80 when he died, so he would have been 95. It's possible for people to live that long. One of the stars at Gone for the Wind just died at 104 the other day.
Oh, Olivia de Havilland, yeah.
Yeah, and then what was his name? Carl Reiner. He was like, what, 99 or something like that?
Yeah, he was pretty old, yeah.
He was old.
Didn't
That's
Regis
what I want
host
to be.
I Want to Be a Millionaire, the U.S. version?
Who?
Regis.
Oh, probably.
I thought he did.
I Want to Be a Millionaire or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Whatever it was called.
Live with Millionaire.
Live Millionaire. Game show.
I'm still on Johnny Carson's Wikipedia. I'm looking for
Who
what
Wants
he
to Be a
did.
Millionaire. He hosted that. I probably watched more of that than his other show.
I'm looking for what Johnny Carson did in 2019. Oh, man. Anyways, let's get back on task here. After that, we had a really fun little match between Buddy Murphy and Humberto Carillo.
Oh, this was fun.
My first note here in my Steve notes, which you can get access to as a Twitch sub, YouTube channel member, patron, is when Carillo came down, I thought, and I wrote down, where was this asshole when the shit went down earlier, Larson? Fixing his hair? What was he doing? He's a good-looking guy. Maybe he was doing his hair. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
These guys laying some pretty mean chops, don't they?
That, and then Carillo especially was wearing out his thigh, slapping it with all those kicks. Man, it was like a gunshot going off every time he hit a kick.
Yeah, everything they were doing was really loud. Yeah, that was good stuff. They're so flawless, though, man. They're just absolutely so fluid in the ring. These guys are just great workers. So anyways, the finish saw Carillo coming off the top, eating a fat knee and Murphy's Law. So the disciple himself, Buddy Murphy, picks up a win against Humberto Carillo.
You mentioned earlier that Shayna was walking out with a little more oomph in her step, and I felt like these two guys wrestled this match with a lot more oomph behind each one of their shots, 'cause especially that bit where they were trading forms, that was pretty stiff.
The forms were stiff. Those chops were echoing, and they were crisp. This match was fun. The Extreme Rules stuff. So Drew comes out, he accepts Randy's shot. I've actually really appreciated this little Drew Dolph thing. I really have.
It's some of the best matches Dolph has had in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Drew comes out, accepts Randy's challenge, because why not, right? There's no GM, there's no authority figure to actually make a match. So
this is a title match, so it's not looking past Dolph.
Yeah, exactly. So Dolph comes out and he's like, come on, what's the stipulation? And he says, well, your stipulation was in Extreme Rules where you could do anything you want. You could use a chair, you could use a kendo stick, you could use a table. Well, this is the same thing, but I can too. And Drew basically dominates this match until Dolph hits a low blow. Tide kind of turns there, but basically Drew just dominates this match.
It was basically a 15-minute Extreme Rules squash match.
Yeah, it was so fun though. It's like you get the feeling these two guys just really enjoy working with each other.
I really like how Drew's getting those short, quick little back elbows, little sucker punches he does. I love that.
Yeah, I know.
They're
it's
so
great.
crisp.
So anyways, the finish saw God, that belly to belly. Dolph just goes flying.
I know.
Man. So anyways, Drew tries to go for a Claymore. He gets hit with a zigzag. They get back up, and then what is it?
Drew Claymore's Dolph through the table in the corner.
He gets Claymore through a table. Oh, that was fantastic. But then, of course, after the match, RKO out of nowhere.
Yes.
From Randy Orton.
Yeah, and then he holds the title up over Drew.
Yeah.
As we close the show.
Yeah. So yeah, decent Raw. Stuff
Yeah,
happened.
It was fine.
Good matches.
It wasn't must-watch television. I would say, although there was a couple good matches. But
the Asuka Sasha stuff I thought was like
really
the best. Good. Yeah, I'd check that out for sure.
But it didn't. Some episodes of Raw really drag on. You feel every minute of those 3 hours, and I didn't feel like that was the case for this one.
I was actually pretty shocked towards the end of the first hour. I was like, oh my god, the first hour went by pretty quick.
Really, the only dud aspects of it were the Nia Shayna stuff.
Yeah, that was dud.
Fell horribly flat.
I'll be honest with you, man. I could do without Seth these days. The whole Seth thing it's still going on. Like he's still doing
the same
stuff
over and over. The only what redeemed that in my eyes was Buddy trying to take Aleister's eye and his reaction to it. Like he realized he went. Buddy he didn't know he could.
Buddy was the MVP of that particular segment. Yeah,
and I like they're actually really doing something with Buddy Murphy as opposed to just having him stand around and get beat up a lot.
For sure.
In a match, he tried to take somebody's eye. He's more involved. He's going through his own story beats. So that's good for Buddy.
Would you like to answer some questions?
Sure. I got one here from White Brownie 92 on the Twitch.
Okay.
Sasha just teased going after Io for her title. Is that a tweet from like months ago?
Right. You gotta go up and say and click on latest tweets, please.
Well, that was a non-title match when they had their first match.
Let's see here. James Fletcher. Oh wow, that's too many. That's too much. He wants a Survivor Series team match, 5-man teams with AEW, WWE, New Japan, Impact, Ring of Honor. Quick, give me 5 people you know that wrestle for Ring of Honor, Larson.
For Ring of Honor, Cheeseburger, Rhett Titus,
good,
Beer City Bruiser,
wow,
and the Briscoes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll give you 5 people I know work for Impact because, hey, that's right, every Tuesday on the Twitch, right here at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson, I'm co-streaming Impact Wrestling at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. You can watch, all you got to do is go to this channel here, Twitch channel, and then you can watch Impact, and then my little box is next to it. It's so much fun. So I'm going to say Ken Shamrock, Sami Callihan, Ethan Page, Chris Bay, and their champion Ed Edwards. That's my Impact team.
Yeah. Dan Daniels III. Walter plays Call of Duty. Confirmed by Marcel Bartel on the Swerve podcast. Does he stream? Does Walter stream?
Can we raid Walter? That would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool.
Okay, so I'm on Sasha Banks' Twitter feed right now.
I didn't know. I checked too. I didn't notice anything about that.
I'm pretty sure they just saw an old tweet. But that's cool. Maybe she will.
20 minutes ago, she said, check out her cameo.
Oh, God. How much do you think this is? I'm going to guess 500.
Yeah. I was
$375?
Huh.
That's affordable. Oh, man. That's right. We have a Sasha intro. Nice. I'm going to start using that for the Raw one. Oh, wow. That's right. And she's Raw Women's Champion. That makes it even better. All right.
I believe when we interviewed her, she was Raw Women's Champion, too.
That's right. I can put the title back in it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Anyway, Smurf Galway. Hey, guys, is it me or do the Street Profits comedy styling strike you similar to the Wayans family? Montez reminds him of Damon. He says Damien, but it's Damon Wayans Jr. I could see that a little bit with Montez, maybe. I don't really see it much with Angelo Dawkins. I don't know who Angelo Dawkins reminds me of, but he reminds me of somebody, and I really like him. I like Angelo. Mm-hmm. I think his comedy is. I think it's funny. Like it kind of feels like stoner comedy, you know?
Yeah. Alan J, is Murphy going to reach a point with Rollins like, yeah, this is too much for me? I don't know if that wasn't tonight after he tried to take Alistair's eye. I don't know what it's going to be.
I hope so. I hope he does. Give him his own thing, man. Oh, okay. So White Brownie says, Steve, go to WWE's Twitter. That's where Sasha's post-match interview is. Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
Haha Jackson says Mark Henry and Ron Simmons were both in the Nation.
Oh, there you go. So they're going around recruiting for the new Nation now.
Die Hard Homer says Alistair sat in an empty room for how long? Yet back in January he was rumored to win the Rumble. Was he really a Heyman guy?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
The room stuff started before Heyman.
It did, but it's not like he was shot to the moon during Heyman's run, although it was the most promising during Heyman's run. Because he had that run of like beating a bunch of jobbers.
And then also, you hear things, and granted, who knows how true they are, that Heyman was pitching a bunch of ideas and Vince was shooting them all down and stuff. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe Heyman himself is putting that stuff out there.
That's entirely possible.
Let's see here. Christopher Rappersod says Randy Orton's promo mentioned Stone Cold and The Rock, but he didn't mention John Cena. Why didn't he mention John Cena or Triple H? Happy birthday, Triple H.
Because they have more title reigns than he does. That was his point, is as great as Stone Cold and The Rock were, he's got a better resume on paper than they do.
Nobody has a better resume
on paper.
Yeah.
That's true. Mike Lucas, he says for 1,000 subs, can you do the Chili Pepper Challenge while listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers? What would be more of a punitive measure to you, Steve? Eating a hot pepper or listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers?
So here's the thing about the Chili Peppers. When they come on, I don't even understand that they're playing. My brain has heard them so many times that like it accesses their info, the input going into my ear, and it puts it into a place where I don't even know what's happening. They are literally worse than elevator music at this point. But I'm not going to say worse. They are just more boring than elevator music in my mind. Honestly, they're one of those bands that like, it's simply because they're so overplayed. They are so overplayed. They're like the Doors of their day.
Their post
Blood Sugar Sex Magic thing.
Yeah, but even that really they really only overplay Under the Bridge.
Oh no. The stuff after Under the Bridge, like the California one.
No. I'm saying from that particular album, the only song from Blood Sugar Sex Magic that's overplayed is Under the Bridge. But yeah, like everything from Californication onward, that shit's way overplayed. Way overplayed. Yes,
it's them of our generation. It's them, Green Day and Weezer are the most, and maybe to a degree Sublime, the most overplayed on the radio. One of those four bands is playing everywhere.
On at least 100 radio stations somewhere in the country right now.
Totally true.
Solved is one more question. Shayna versus Nia, real fight. Who wins and who is the face? You gotta go with Shayna. She's a trained fighter.
Oh, Etheon here says Steve has trash music takes and I'm here for it. He's probably a Chili Peppers fan. He likes elevator.
That's not a trash take. That's a great take.
He likes elevator music. Anyways, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Shayna versus Nia, real fight. Who wins and who is the face? Shayna wins.
Are you kidding me? Shayna wins big time.
Shayna wins. She's a trained fighter. Nia is not.
Yeah, no. That's not even close. Like, okay, over under 1 minute. It's under.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's under. Let's see here. Blake Whitehouse, when Mickie James returns, should she join the Hurt Business or the Disciples of Rollins? Neither.
She'll probably be on SmackDown. I'm just trying to do something. Top 3 finishers of the year. What are the 3 best uses of a finisher this year, Steve?
The 3 best uses of a finisher this year?
Yeah. The first time we saw that punt back when Orton punted Edge at Backlash, that was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty rad.
That was because he's teased it a lot over the years, but never really done it since they kind of, I don't know if it was like an official ban or he just stopped doing it or whatever.
I mean, in terms of the best use of a finisher, I would say like the F5/Claymore in the WrestleMania match, because like all that stuff really did make Drew look great. Yeah. Sorry. Now here we go. Some people here in chat have it. Peyton Royce's finisher.
Oh, amazing.
That just dropped everybody's jaws.
I know. Dang MQ. So will Sasha be 0-5 in title defenses?
I wonder if they'll go back to that.
Successfully defended the title.
I feel like she'll probably have it for a little while they tell this Sasha Bailey story.
This is an interesting situation from Beans from the East. What if when WWE officially gets fans back, Vince decides to relinquish all the belts for a fresh start? Who do you think gets every belt in that scenario?
I think they want to see what Drew looks like in front of fans.
I know if they'd strip him, then he just win it back, whatever tournament, whatever.
They'll probably have the Fiend. Well, they'll do the Fiend and then they'll do Roman for the SmackDown, the WWE.
Well, if fans are back, then Roman's getting that belt.
Yeah.
Soon. Once he's back, he's like...
because they're going to be cheering the crap out of him, man.
Yep. I don't think he would make any changes as far as the women titles.
Okay, hold on a second. Once again, chat is going crazy right now. Robert Channels says Shayna's a little over 500 in real fights, like 15-12, and then says she was not good. But we're talking...
So she was good.
We're talking about her against somebody who hasn't had a fight for reals that we know of.
Fighter at all.
You guys
got a
crazy
record.
sometimes.
You're good at what you do. You might not be great. You might not be excellent. You might not be top tier. You got a winning record.
You're good.
You're good.
You're good. You're good, man. Let's see here. Alex Foster. What wrestler should cut their own poorly done version of the pipe bomb?
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
A
sweaty, confusing, rambling pipe bomb.
Yep. Gareth Nicholas says the best Who Wants to Be a Millionaire episodes that dude that used the lifeline on the last question to tell his dad he was going to win $1 million. I didn't see that one. Did he win it? I guess so.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, let us know in the comments. What's your favorite Regis Philbin moment?
There you go.
I want to see, dude. I want 100 comments about Regis Philbin. Thank you, Adrian C, for the gifted sub. Let's see here. Wolfpack for life. In kayfabe, where does Randy Orton rank as the greatest of all time? His going in raw math has to be pretty high.
In kayfabe, where does he rank? Well, in kayfabe, he ranks pretty high because I think it's at least in WWE. So I'm taking Ric Flair out of it because he won most of his world championships in NWA, WCW. In WWE, you got Cena, you got Triple H, and then you got Edge, and then you got Orton. I don't know if that's the exact order, but I think in terms of world title reigns, those are the top four.
Orton is really high in going in raw math.
Mm-hmm.
He's not quite as high as Cena, but he's probably pushing a 9 wrestler. Because I think wasn't Cena like a 9+ or something?
Well, by your metric, yeah, I kind of disputed that. You gave him like a 10 look, and I'm like, he's not a 10 look, but that's another discussion. So let's just do this.
Is Orton higher than Edge? Wow, that's difficult.
So, in-ring, promo, look, kayfabe, legacy. So in-ring, Orton's not always the most exciting wrestler. When he wants to do good work, he can, but he has a reputation for being very safe.
Okay,
so he's a consummate professional in the ring.
Here's the thing. There is a knock for motivation. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Dude, I don't know if somebody can have a career that long and that consistent and be a 5-star guy every time out. Like, he can do a 5-star match. He probably has always been able to do a 5-star match.
Yeah.
But, like, he hasn't always done that.
So I would say in ring 7.
I would say no less than 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, okay,
I think we
7.
gave Cena an 8 or 9 or something like that. So 7.
Yeah, okay, 7.
Promo. He's a really good promo when he wants to be. He's
When
a
he
really
wants
good promo.
to be a promo, he's a really good promo. The thing about Cena was, wasn't Cena like a 10 promo?
He was.
Okay.
I'd give Orton an 8.
Okay. All right.
Look. I mean, the line on Orton is if you build a pro wrestler from the ground up, he's going to look like him.
He definitely looks like a pro wrestler, but he doesn't look like anything better than a pro wrestler. And I feel like, you need to look like pro wrestler, but then something that's really distinctive. He is the least distinctive looking wrestler there is. For that, I give him a 6.
6. Wow.
His branding is awful, dude. It's terrible. The sleeveless
He's a
hoodie
7
with like the lame Viper logo is awful.
He's a 7 for being good. Kayfabe. He's won a ton of belts.
Oh, Kayfabe's 10.
Less than it.
Kayfabe's 10. Kayfabe's 10.
Legacy.
9.
Again, if he was constantly motivated, it would be really good. There's the motivation. There's the attitude issues you got to take into account earlier in his career, which, he seems to have overcome, transcended those issues. But do those issues potentially hold him back in his younger part of his career? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, he was wildly successful early.
His legacy is huge. His legacy is probably, at the league, no less than an 8, probably a 9. I mean, it's got to be a 9, dude.
All right, we'll say 9. So 26. He's an 8+.
He's an 8+? Okay. All right.
8+.
That sounds right. Hey, plug in and plug out while I read this next
Very
question
well.
here. I was going to read a question, but yeah.
Ricky Scurry says, Legacy, he created it. 10.
Okay, well, haven't I timed out Ricky Scurvy? Nemo.
That was a good line.
Nemo says, there were some good matches tonight, but has there been a more bummer episode of Raw before this? Well, yeah, there have been, like the tribute episodes. Those are always bummers. In storyline, though, this is a pretty big bummer. Kairi Sane died, so isn't that what like we were supposed to assume there with Kairi? Didn't they just kill her off?
Well, it just injured really badly.
Okay.
Anthony, what's the most interesting way to approach and book Dominic?
Oh.
Have Seth brainwash him. Dominic feud with his dad.
Yeah. Have Dominic do that, but then have him slowly turn into like he looks like Billy Kidman. Like long hair, always scratching his face.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the jorts that are all ripped up. Mr. Sinister says, give him the UK title again. That joke never gets old. I don't know why. I know people are probably sick of it, but God, it makes me laugh.
Aberson here in chat says, my favorite Regis moment is when he was the answer on a Wheel of Fortune puzzle, and the contestants kept leaving the B out of his last name, and 2 of the 3 contestants failed the puzzle.
Is it Regis Philbin? Is it Regis Philbin? No, you idiot.
That's pretty funny. Shaq asks, why did the tag team belts have Velcro, but the WWE Championship does not?
Doesn't it?
I thought it did.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. Mike Goat says, best Regis moments are anytime he was on Late Night with Letterman. They were hilarious together.
Oh, yeah.
They were really good together.
Oh, I got to go see if there's a compilation of that. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic.
White Brownie 92 says WWE's farewell article on Kyrie sounds like she's definitely staying with them, just not as an in-ring performer.
Oh, that's cool. That'll be interesting. Let's see here. Philly's number 1, Greg Morris. Could this finally be the storyline that brings us NXT Asuka?
Oh.
That'd be interesting if it kicked it up to another. If they kicked her up to another notch, that'd be crazy. That'd be cool.
Soulless, how long can Sasha and Bayley sit in the belts with no guarantee of when fans will be back in arenas? If it goes past the end of this year and into next, will the internet die off or Vince lose interest?
Wait, what now? Huh?
How long can they have those belts on Sasha and Bayley when we all know a feud is coming?
Well, I don't know that a feud is coming. You think so, but
point.
we've been talking about that for how long now?
For years, 2 years at least.
Anthony F has a great question. If you could host, this is a question that I want to hear from you. If you could host any game show in history, what would you host?
Oh, match game.
Easy, huh? That easy?
Match game.
Wow.
That seemed like an absolute blast.
Yeah, okay.
That just seemed like so much fun.
For me, it'd be the Newlywed Game. I would have but it has to be like in the 70s. Yeah. I would have so much fun. I'm pretty sure like a prereq for those contestants to be on that game is they had to do coke right before the camera started rolling. Some of those answers were hilarious.
Yeah.
In the butt.
Oh, yeah. So weirdest. What was the question? What's the strangest or weirdest place you've made whoopee?
Yeah, in the butt.
That would be in the butt, Bob.
Asian Murr says the answer for Steve is who wants to be a millionaire or billionaire.
Dr. Steve Winter says there's a couple of questions on the Discord.
Oh, crap. That's right. I mean, oh, cool. I get to be on Discord now.
There we go. Dang MQ has a good reason why Orton didn't mention Cena, because Cena doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I think Dead Vinny said that too. That was pretty funny. Let's see if I even have access to Discord right now, because I got on like my personal Discord for the gaming stuff the other day. There we go. Okay, Dr. Steve Winters. Who paid off Kevin Dunn to run the Bailey attack mid-match? I like your idea of like it's just the Batista thing, but then they cut out the first part. Mr. Lipkin, Vince claims that he wants to build new stars. Who is the next license to print money that Vince will throw away?
Alistair
Black.
The new star he's building is Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. To the moon. Is that all the questions we have?
I mean, there's more. We can do more.
Just do one more. One more good one.
One more? All right, I'll find a good one. There was one that seemed lengthy up here. Dang MQ, I'm expecting Bailey to defend her title against a woman from SmackDown that isn't Mandy or Sonya, which means one of Carmella, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, Tamina, Naomi, Dana Brooke, or Lacey Evans. I would assume Dang means at SummerSlam.
I don't know what they're going to do at SummerSlam, man. I'm so lost with all that. Might be Naomi. Could be Naomi.
Yeah, it could be Naomi.
Let's see here. Okay, here's another one here. John Elite says, Steve and Larson, would you rather be taken to Suplex City or get hit with multiple F5s by Brock Lesnar? F5s easily. Suplex, I might land on my head. With the F5, you just fall.
I got a bad neck as is. I don't need to be taking any German suplexes.
And then, we'll end on this one. Actually, hold on. Okay, there's two more. Last ones. Night by night. Who in the Raw mid card would be most likely to compete in and win a speedboat race? Is that where Beefcake hurt his face? Was in a speedboat?
I believe so.
Well, the
he
only
did have
other
an incident with the jet ski once too.
Well, there you go. The disciple Buddy Murphy, the other disciple.
There you go.
Jorge D. If the Hurt Business was a real business, what would they sell or offer as a service? It'd be protection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
High quality, high class, high paid bodyguards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Twitch chat, stay tuned. For the rest of you, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.